If you've ever been told you need more executive presence, but no one could actually explain what that is, this video is for you. Executive presence has become one of those catchphrases people throw around in corporate spaces like glitter at a chaotic networking event. Everyone says it's important. Very few people can actually define what it is. Some people think it's confidence, charisma, public speaking, wearing neutral colors, and walking around with a leather notebook like you're about to acquire a few businesses. That is not it. Real executive presence is much more strategic than most people realize. It's the ability to create trust, confidence, and credibility in the moments that influence decisions. That's it. Executive presence is the feeling people leave with after interacting with you. Do they trust your judgment? Do they believe your expertise? Do they feel confident putting you in front of stakeholders, clients, leadership teams, or decision makers? One of the biggest professional blind spots I see is most people thinking that executive presence is something you're born with. This is something that's not gifted to a lucky group of naturally confident people. It's built through signals, the way you communicate, the way you respond under pressure, the way you explain ideas, the way you carry uncertainty, the way your expertise connects to business outcomes. That's why some people enter a room and others instinctively feel confident in their leadership. Their signals are aligned. Then they're incredibly smart people who struggle to be recognized as leaders even though they are technically excellent. However, technical skill alone does not automatically create leadership perception. Recruiters or senior leaders in your organization are quietly asking themselves, can this person lead? Do they understand the bigger picture? Can they handle complexity? Would I feel comfortable putting them in front of a board, a client, or the media? Most of these questions are answered emotionally before they are answered intellectually. Executive presence is not just about competence. It's about perceived leadership readiness. This is why two people can have the same qualifications, similar experience, and similar performance, but one gets promoted faster. One person is being seen as leadership material, while the other one is still being seen as operational support. I know it hurts, stay with me. Now, here's where I think the conversation around executive presence becomes deeply unhelpful, especially for women, especially for people from culturally diverse backgrounds, especially for professionals who were never taught the unwritten rules of leadership environments. A lot of executive presence advice is actually coded as simulation advice. Speak this way, dress this way, tone yourself down, sound more polished, be more assertive, be less emotional, be confident but not too confident. A beautiful lead to corporate labyrinth. The problem is that people end up performing leadership instead of building genuine presence. Real executive presence is not about becoming a corporate robot with excellent posture. It's about becoming more strategically understood. That's a completely different conversation. From a brand strategy perspective, executive presence is really about that signal consistency. Your communication, visibility, behavior, leadership style, stakeholder interactions, and reputation all work together to shape that perception. When those signals are inconsistent, people experience uncertainty. When they align, people experience leadership. That's why executive presence affects promotions, salary growth, leadership opportunities, stakeholder trust, board visibility, media opportunities, high trust relationships, not because someone had a fancy blazer collection. Although respectfully, a good blazer has rescued many of us in difficult seasons of life. Some of the strongest executive presence I've seen comes from people who are calm, grounded, thoughtful, and precise. People who know how to communicate with conviction without turning every meeting into a TED Talk audition. Executive presence is not performance. It's trust, credibility. It's coherence between what you say, how you think, how you behave, and how consistently people experience your leadership. That coherence creates confidence. So if you've been struggling with executive presence, I want you to stop asking, how do I look more executive? That question usually leads into performance. Start asking, what signals are people receiving from me consistently? That question will help you shape your communication, positioning, and visibility in a way that feels credible, intentional, and trusted. Executive presence is not about pretending to be powerful. It's about reducing uncertainty around your leadership. And once you understand that, you stop performing confidence and start building trust. If this video helped you rethink executive presence, subscribe to the channel. On this channel, we talk about brand, leadership, visibility, professional positioning, and blind spots that shapes careers, businesses, and influence in ways most people never notice. And trust me, there are a lot of blind spots people don't see coming. See you in the next video.